Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'll be giving my review for the final uh, film for the opening weekend of the Hallmark Christmas movies, and that is Under the Christmas Sky, starring Ryan Pavey and Jessica Parker Kennedy. Um, so I'm gonna tell you, I'll tell you the synopsis. Esteemed astrophysicist Kate, scheduled for her first trip into space but sidelined due to an accident, meets a new man at the local planetarium. Together they must work hard to open a new exhibit by Christmas. Does that just sound Christmassy to you? I didn't know what this movie was about. I didn't look at the synopsis before watching it. This movie did not feel like a Christmas movie. It felt like a movie with Christmas decorations in it. I'm sorry, it did. It did not feel like a Christmas movie. The subject matter of it being like planetarium, astrological stuff, I couldn't get into it. It just was not for me. Um, Ryan Pavey doesn't show up until maybe 10-15 minutes into the movie. It focuses a lot on the character of Kate Butler. I call her Kate. Kate and Andy, which are his brother and sister. Um, it focuses on them and their family for the first little bit, and then Ryan comes in once she actually gets to the planetarium because he is the curator of the planetarium. Um, but this movie just did not have any Christmas feel. It had some Christmas decorations, but it wasn't that great. It just looked very meh, very bland. The lighting was dark most of the time. It did not have that bright, cheerful feel to it. Um, Ryan Pavey's character sadly felt like a third wheel. I loved Kate and Ryan Pavey's daughter, or what's that? David's daughter, um, Lily maybe. It might have been Lily. Um, I loved I loved Kate and David's daughter's relationship. I loved their bond, and I absolutely loved Celeste and Andy. I I was smiling and laughing the whole time they were on screen. You could have gave me this movie strictly with just them, and I would have been perfectly happy. They brought the movie. They made this movie. That couple made this movie. Andy just felt so natural. His style of acting felt so natural and just funny. And Celeste, the same. I mean, she felt natural. It just felt like she was just having fun, and I loved their characters. And they're played by Andrew uh, Bushell and Sarah. Oh no, excuse me, Sydney Sebastian. I'm gonna say Sebastian. It's Sabiston. Sabiston. Maybe a little fancy name to it. But they were great. I would want a movie just of them. Give me a movie just of them as a couple. Um, and I would have been happy. But like I said, this was supposed to be a focus on Kate and David, and David just felt like a third wheel. He was Ryan was just there, um, as a big name. It felt like, and his acting in this really portrayed that, in my opinion, because he just didn't give anything to the performance. And the only time he really gave something to the performance was when they were uh, showing off this uh, the Santa tracker, and he actually gave us a little energy and gave us a little more of him. and it just felt like the rest of the time it just wasn't. He just didn't care. Um, there was also a scene where they had David get mad at Kate because for no reason. I mean, there was really no reason. His daughter got her feelings hurt because one of the school bullies um, knocked her thing off and her ornament off and stepped on it, and she was just comforting her and trying to um, make her feel better, and he just like explodes on her and explodes on Kate, and there was no reason for it. It was unnecessary. There was just no reason for that. When you get towards the end, you get their first kiss, and oh my god, it was terrible. Their first kiss was terrible. It looked so fake, and it looked like she was so scared to kiss him, and like he was trying to get her just to like, come on, kiss me. It just looked terrible, and um, then towards the end, there's also a scene where she gets a job offer, and he completely just, I don't know, he awkwardly tries to get her to, uh, basically, how to explain this? He's awkwardly telling her, well, I thought you wanted to basically stay here and go back to the job you were doing. And it's basically him trying to say, I want you to stay here with me, but the way he came across was just very awkward, the writing was just terrible in that scene, and the way she reacted was so odd, and her facial expressions were so weird. It just did not work for me. It was just a very strange and poorly scripted way of him saying basically that he wants her to stay there and that he loves her or wants to be with her. Um, and then once they do finally get together, the kiss is better, but the movie just can't be saved. And I was one other thing. It's not really a major negative, but towards the beginning of this movie, when you meet the parents to Kate, the mom, their mom, Andy and Kate's mom, looks so young. Either she's aged very well or something, because she looks so young. Like, she don't look like she'd be old enough to have kids that are their age. And the dad does. The dad looks like he would, but the mom doesn't. And I was like, wow. I was like, she's aged very well, or they got somebody too young. I don't know which. But I just thought that was funny. I was like, that's interesting choice. But this movie overall was just a mess. It was a terrible movie. The best part about it, like I said, was Celeste and Andy, and then the relationship between Kate and David's daughter. Those are the only reasons I made it through this, because I loved their scenes together. Otherwise, I don't know if I would have made it through this movie, because it was putting me to sleep. The dialogue was a lot of astrophysicist talk and stuff about the solar system, and I'm not in school. I didn't go to school for that. It doesn't interest me. This is a Christmas movie, not a space movie. Like, why are we? And they try to incorporate Christmassy things, but it doesn't work for me. It's not enough. And the other thing forgot to mention. So she says about her having an accident. Well, the accident left her vision in one of her eye kind of fuzzy, blurry. It's like a ring in her eye. And they show you that her point of view a few times. But to me, it's like they, in a way, forget about it sometimes, and they forget to mention it and forget to show her overcoming it. like they have one good scene where he takes her to play um, shuffleboard or wherever it is, where they um, throw the stone down the ice and they have to scrape the ice or whatever with the brush to get it to go into the round circle things. Never played that game in my life, so I don't know anything about it. But um, he brought her there to try to help her her coordination, her vision and stuff. But after that, it's like they just never reference it much. Other than her telling the girl about the accident and why she can't go into space, they don't show her overcoming it. Other than towards the end, when she walks through a crowd of people, he says, well, he mentions, he said, David says, well, looks like your coordination, your sight's getting better. You didn't run into anybody in the crowd. But I feel like they lost focus on that a little bit throughout the film, and they didn't do a good job with that storyline. But but yeah, that's everything I have to say for this one. To me, this was the worst of the weekend. I gave it a 1.5 out of 5. It just was not a great one. It only got that 1.5 for Celeste and Andy, and then Kate and the daughter's relationship. But um, but yeah, definitely not one I would recommend. Not one I'd ever watch again. So that is everything for my review for Under the Christmas Sky. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified for all videos, and we'll see you all in the next one.